Back in the garden.
We have family coming over today.
Oh my belly.
Our first problem.
Didn't quite expect as many as we...
What people are you talking about?
Big day. We have friends.
In the meantime, I'm going to send out my machine to...
They're not nets.
That does protest too much, methinks. Assorted box of produce. There, spelty.
That's better.
It was already perfect.
You're back in the garden. Everything's going well in here. Tomatoes are picking away. They're just kind of looking after themselves, really. Cucumbers are the same. Delighted. We've had a few aubergines. These are more beef tomatoes here at the end, which I was late putting in. But they're coming along. Inside is great, but outside is a wilderness. I was just starting to try and attack the beds again. So these are the potato beds. These are first earlies we've eaten. We have got second earlies still in the ground, and then main crop that need to come out as well. I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time and take them out. I'm worried about the main crop because I don't want them to go rotten in the ground. As you can see, yeah, it's literally a wilderness, and of course trying to keep on top of it all and do our house is just a bit crazy. We also have just massive strimmer problems. So I started strimming these potato beds this morning, and then it gave up. It's just a little parkside strimmer. We clearly need to get something a bit better. Like, it takes Rob no time to go around, about an hour to mow the entire circle and surroundings of the house and everywhere with the mower. So he can do that, but it's just all these little bits with the grass growing up around the sides that just really annoy me, that if I had a strimmer we could eliminate and get it looking good. I'll keep going with the spuds and we'll see what we unearth. This is what I've got starting with, and I can see there's a hell of a lot more to come out. Like, I'm not sure if I can leave them in the ground for longer. These haven't been affected by blight, so maybe someone can let me know. These are second earlies. What are they? They are British Queens. I mean, I do know that second earlies have to be used quite quickly, so well, not quite quickly, but they do have to be used. Like, they're not a main crop that we can keep. Quite a few here. Anyway, we'll keep going along and see how long we get, how far we get, and how much we get in the bucket at the end. You're meant to say, yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. My belly. I said, look, you stuck in the world. Right, back to spuds. Where were you? Did you go for a walk? Did you? Who'd you see? Did you see anybody? Started off clean at the sides of the beds, working along the sides, and then realised that that was just the biggest waste of time ever. So I just got straight in and mucky. Needless to say, I'm pretty filthy, despite the plastic, which was meant to save my knees. But I was determined to get them all out, just because I don't want them to reseed in here, because we won't be putting potatoes in here again. So yes, didn't quite expect as many as we have. Let's pick up these ones. But yeah, needless to say, there'll be a lot of potato dinners going on over the next couple of weeks. We're gonna have to give some away, and I'm just actually trying to find out. My lovely neighbour Liz came over and she was going to ask her husband Mike if it's possible that we can use these as seed potatoes for next year. We were super happy with these ones, and they're British Queens. Super happy with them. They just did so well here that I would like to do them again next year, and maybe if it's possible to use the seeds, or just some of the, not the seeds, sorry, but some of the potatoes, save some of the potatoes somehow, that you could replant them. I don't know anything about that. If anybody knows about that, let me know. I was thinking maybe just a fish box full of sand, but maybe they shouldn't be in plastic. I don't know. There's a little bit of research to go on later for that one. But that's the second line dug out. This is my next line, which I'm not going to start now, because I actually have a few other little bits that need to be done first. So this is a mess of my workbench in the tunnel, and on my messy bench I have asparagus. Now I'm kind of hoping that it's still okay. We've had this quite a, oh, I don't even want to say how long we've had it, but anyway, too long. So hoping that we can just pop it into one of the beds and get it going. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm hoping to put it up into the bed that I took the purple rains out of, which is up kind of here. So I'm going to get that going now, and kind of hoping I don't have to do too much digging, because there's been the purple rains are in there, but we'll have to see. I might have to mound it up with a bit of compost. Big day. I started this a week ago, this video, and now I have started it again. First of all, this is a super bright room, and we feel like we are in a goldfish bowl in here. Round 2 on the curtains. We bought curtains, and now we had to figure out how to put them up. We wanted to have a really nice curtain rail.
Well, I did.
But
Claire wanted cheap Chinese
I also wanted like a voile curtain behind it, so that because this room is very open at the back of the house, and people at the moment use this as the sort of entrance in.
What people are you talking about?
Neighbours.
One neighbour. Sorry, Liz.
2 neighbours. 2 or 3 neighbours. We have friends.
Yeah, but it's not like there's like 7 or 8 of them passing by every hour.
Alright. Anyway, it's the root
Once
house of the
every
house.
3 or 4 days,
So-
somebody will go past in the middle of the day. It's not like we're lying in bed in the morning at 6 a.m.
Anyway,
and
I thought I just wanted to have something that was kind of private, but that was still let light in. So my mom went away to the lovely Michael Guiney's and got some voile curtains made up, and they're brilliant, they're perfect, they're just what we wanted. And then we found the curtains that we really wanted. Now we're trying to assemble a pole. We originally were going to do a pole and some kind of a rail with the voile. We don't know yet how this is going to work, because these poles might not be strong enough to hold the curtains, so we'll just have to see. So we're just starting, but we've got one of these kind of clever poles that has like a double pole. So you put like one curtain and then the proper curtain.
not only is it like a double pole, it actually is a double pole.
Okay, it's a double pole and it has like 2 rails, but it's quite nice. So that's what we wanted. So this is what we're trying to do. Put the bloody curtains up. And I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but let's get started.
Building a house is okay compared to putting up curtain poles.
What? What's there? What's there? What, you don't see anything? She's swimming in it. She just looks across, as you can see all the way across.
Rooney shit the bed.
Anyway, eventually get these curtains up.
Hey folks, we're delighted to let you know that our limited edition Rooney Red Setter postcards are now available. If you would like your Rooney approved postcards, head below to our Ko-fi store where you can pick up one and get a secret message from us. If you would also like our original West Cork Wanderer farmhouse postcards, get them at the same store, but hurry, prints are limited. Yeah, we got about that much there. This is just plasterboard. Maybe we will have to put the plasterboard screws in.
What about further along? Is there wood there?
Here is wood. I thought this was just going above. I guess not. So we have 95. Roughly here.
230 wide, each of them. So that's 460 in total. I don't mind it. What is the full width, Rob? Hang on now, just 1 second. So the next thing with this is that this isn't going to work because these have to go onto ring. So you want a little bit above, don't you?
Sure.
Right,
this is 4 screws into wood, and then we'll unscrew it and lift or lower it if you want.
Okay.
I know somebody that's decent at plastering to fix it. So now we need to keep that
on the line.
Like that's a pretty solid freaking anchor, you know?
Okay, brilliant.
Put that one first. Just be able to push it in. I think that looks good. Can I just slap up some of these curtains then?
But you've nothing to put them on.
We just stick it up now.
Oh, it screws into the thing.
Mistake?
Oh, they look amazing.
Not bad now.
And then, like, if you're just getting changed or whatever, we can just keep the foils there, like. And I don't know how you want it to look, but I think it's quite nice that it makes the most of the window frame. Doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it'll be nice to see the wood as well.
They're very nice, Rob, actually. Well done.
I just have the stylistic elements in this relationship. First it was you wanted a room out of a caravan, now you want curtains. So, here comes the problem child. As you can see, we put a very thin slope on this and then slotted. Originally we were thinking the doors might actually go into the ceiling. Now one end just fits at this point. So we're hoping, I don't know, can you see? The very top of these curtains has got maybe about an inch of fabric above the top, thereabouts. So we're hoping, as long as we fit the rail within an inch of the ceiling, we should be able to close the curtains nicely on it and just hide the whole thing. That's what we're thinking, right? My plan was to use stud right here and get it up as high as possible. But we're not doing that now. Can you see it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's level.
Yeah.
Alright, take the pencil then and just scribble there where it hits, wherever that line is. Alright. Shit. Our first problem is that the weight of this thing is a little bit too much to just rely on the edges, so we need this in the middle, but it'll actually be floating. I need to find an L bracket, can't find one, so I'm using this small one. I'm going to attach it here, and then this bracket, hopefully, I need to get out and get a bigger bracket, but this small bracket should attach this to the top. I don't know if it's going to work in real time. We're going to find out.
That's good.
So Claire, how'd it go?
Rob did a sterling job. We do have a slight issue here that we didn't have a strong enough bracket. Rob didn't have a strong enough bracket for this. So we're gonna have to look at that again, and we also think that this side may need to go up slightly. And then along with all of that, they need to be, I knew I had to shorten them anyway, which isn't an issue. That's easy to do. And then of course, the voile curtains to go on the inside rail are fine, but we don't have rings for the hooks. So it's kind of half there, but it'll be very interesting to sleep tonight with curtains, won't it? They do make a big difference. And they came from Thornhills in Skibbereen. If you're ever in Skibbereen, you have to go into Thornhills because they just have the most beautiful things. And I just really liked the kind of natural colour. There's whites and greys in them. So that's it really. So I'm super happy. There's lots of like it's not like you can just put them up and walk away. There's lots of things we need to fix, but it's a start. So.
And this wasn't required whatsoever for the grants. This is just required so we can sleep.
Yeah, we're sleeping at the moment, but we could sleep better if we didn't have so much light coming in, I feel. Yes, if you were going to do it again, you'd have put this window at the same sort of height, maybe?
Well, that window is at the same height as the living room.
Yeah, but there can't be much in it, like between...
There's not, you just lifted that up a fair bit, like. Because of the length of your curtains or your voiles or something, your nets. Your fishing nets, your fish nets.
They're not nets.
Oh, okay.
But like,
I like the curtain rails, they're pretty cool. I think they're different. Yeah. I'm not sure on nets. It's very like 1920s sort of buzz, but...
They're not nets.
That does protest too much, methinks. Tell us about your nets, Claire.
It's just like a voile curtain.
What's a voile?
We actually were going to just
frickin' net.
It's not a net.
What is it?
It's a posh net.
It's a posh net.
Anyway, we'll see.
Comment below. Does your house have nets or posh nets? Aka voile. Anyway, is this project done?
Yeah.
Alright. What do we want to say to the lovely people?
We'll see you later on.
Good morning, guys. It's an early one. We have family coming over today and we just got carried away with work last night and we didn't get anything near where we needed to get done for the visit. So the family are coming at lunchtime and we want to make a meal for them basically. So we're gonna go for some tomatoes from our greenhouse. We're gonna turn that into a soup and we're going to make some bread. We're gonna show you how we do that. We got great feedback from one of the last videos, so we thought, let's just go for it. It's really, really simple. To start the bread recipe, we're gonna have a look at our starter, which hasn't been the best of late. And we're just gonna see if we can get the bread together and give it its first proof. So here we have our sourdough starter. Now I just took 2 scoops out of that, popped it into this jar, added a little bit more flour and a bit more water, which I have as a mix here. And then I'm gonna mix it back in. But it's interesting to see the difference. This is the stuff I discarded, and this is the stuff I've freshly fed. Like the discarded one seems way better. We'll see how this one works out tomorrow. Sourdough starters. We're not having the best of luck with it. If you have any tips for sourdough starters, do let me know down below. Another thing I have here is just some flour and water. What I do with that is I just start to mix it in, and then I take the sourdough starter that I've add that in. We're using a spelt flour, so apparently the spelt flour is quite delicate and it doesn't take to kneading it very well, so we have to kind of make a very wet mixture. However, one of the things I really wanted to do, instead of just using water and flour like this, I wanted to use the tomato juice. So I'm going to make tomato soup in a few hours, and as part of that you strain the pulp from the water. So I would have liked to have used the water and made the tomato bread out of that, but my timings this morning just weren't good enough for that. So I'm going to save the tomato water, and next time I'm going to use that tomato water to make tomato bread. Here we have, I'm not hugely sure, so I'm not going to go on about it. On what spelt is, Claire kind of bought this. And what I've heard, I think it's like, I don't know, it's a wheat alternative. I think it's like Romans used it, or 5,000 years old or something. Anyway, I just add this on top of my water, mix. Well, that's it all gone. I have another bag if I need it. And then I just use a wooden spoon to just mix it up. This almost looks a little bit dry. We will add a few extra bits. So using our local honey here, because Claire's is a few weeks from coming out, just add a little bit. Next we're going to use some of our basil olive oil. That also makes it a bit easier to work with. Finally, we're just going to add just a tiny bit of our sea salt. Right, mix up that bad boy. I'm not going to need it any more than that. This is going to be as much as we process it. I will give it 2 proofs. One in this bowl and another one a little bit later. Doesn't look very bready, but it seems to work. I'm going to throw the lid over, or a tea towel. Weigh that down with something like this. And we come back to it maybe 2 hours. In the meantime, I'm going to send out my machine to collect the tomatoes, isn't that right? We come back with tomatoes, start on the soup. Glorious morning from West Cork. We're in the middle of a tropical storm.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Apparently it's a bit breezy. What's lovely, Claire?
Pink flowers.
Which ones? The pinkies?
Oh, I didn't see those before.
Oh, they look pink. We are on a mission to get tomatoes for some tomato soup. What do you got to say about that?
Should be good.
It's always lovely just to come out here, isn't it, Claire?
Gorgeous. Although you feel wind.
It is a bit windy. Never-ending tomatoes. Ooh, it's suddenly warm in here. You know, now I can't quite see the San Marzano. I reckon these are the San Marzanos. Huge beefies. But the cherries are real stars, aren't they?
Yeah, tasty.
Yeah, so the San Marzano, we've only 2 San Marzano. We're not getting a huge amount, and that's the one that's covered in blight. And that's the heirloom, Claire.
Do you think?
It is. San Marzano is not a hybrid. Yeah, you can chop off half of it, take it. There's a big one down the back. Okay.
Right.
And these are the banana legs that we're just not too sure of.
I don't know if they're banana legs, Rob. 'Cause
Really?
you see, they're the same as those.
Yeah.
But they were all grown in their separate areas.
Oh yeah, that's a good one at the back. The
Do you
back.
think they're San Marzanos?
I do, yeah.
This?
Yeah.
Jesus, they really didn't do so well.
No.
That's just crazy. Like, we did so well, but then the ones we really want. These should all ripen up now if we get rid of these yellow ones. Look at these. They're actually tasty.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. Little like
You dropped one.
grapes. I know. And then these are awesome. They're super tasty though.
They are the sweetest. I'd love to know what they are though.
Super tasty. They're black cherry.
You can throw in a few cucumbers if you want.
Yeah. cucumbers are kind of finishing now. We need to give it another go though.
Look at all the tomatoes coming up here.
I know, I couldn't reach to take the growing points out of those. I took the growing points out of all the others.
It's amazing how it's going behind, isn't it?
I know, but it should be just taken off.
Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. It's fine. Grass cut within an inch of its life. Nice, very nice. Should we get a few carrots? Sunflowers good, sweet corn's looking great.
I'll just take 2 sunflowers to the table.
You need a knife, do you?
That one's completely knocked over.
Still growing up though. I'm amazed though that there's all these sunflowers are still coming. They're like later ones.
Look at these.
I know. That's very good with the hoops, Claire.
All right.
This is going to be interesting, Claire. Oh my God. Could that be a more perfect carrot? Look at the root at the end.
Just take, like, you can see the tops.
Can you take a clump?
Where there's a, no, because they'll be small, like. Just pick.
Look at that.
And leave the rest.
Oh no, that broke off.
Oh.
That's a weird, must have hit a rock. I have to say guys, these carrots are really good. So we filled the bathtub with a mix of sand and maybe from where we dug the trench.
I think so, I don't think it was anything special.
So we just put sand, you can see the sand in there and earth. And the carrots are growing really well. Usually they'd hit an old rock or something, they wouldn't.
Well, you're guaranteed, aren't you, to have long straight carrots because of the depth of the thing.
Yeah, we need to thin them out for sure.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This might be one of our most successful crops, Claire, for Christmas. We did plant these very late. We have to get the next one going. Lots of decent onions in here, Claire. You should pick them.
They're still off.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But they all look perfect, Claire.
The red onions.
Claire, look at that.
Yeah, this one will be more. But now that you mowed them, we can just pick them up.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I think we have loads of onions. Oh, we didn't pick. We thought they were gone because this whole space was just overgrown. Clearly, we have quite a few that I missed. So we'll have to come back and pull these. At the moment, I have way more than I need for the garden, for my tomato soup. So I'm just gonna head back in, throw that in the oven really. I got my produce here. I have a little assorted box of produce for my parents. It's nice to be able to give away gifts like that, isn't it, Claire? They can be guinea pigs. Who knows in the future. Here's our tomatoes. I'm going to add them to some tomatoes we picked yesterday. I'm going to pop them into one of our bowls. This is why we got a double sink, and we're just going to clean them. So I have a pretty big roasting pan. We just have these in here just to give them a little bit of a wash. I'm not terribly precious about them, but don't necessarily want the big green bit. Chuck that back in. They're fine. These are my San Marzano. Unfortunately, these were affected by blight, so I didn't get as many as I wanted. They're an heirloom tomato. These are similar. They're banana legs. They grew brilliantly. However, they're a bit tasteless. So, San Marzano's the way to go. Hybrid tomatoes do brilliantly, but heirloom tomatoes are very prone to a lot of like disease or weather conditions. But generally it's accepted heirloom tomatoes taste a lot better. Oh, San Marzano, baby, yeah. A lot of the folks, particularly the Americans, will put these through a machine to get rid of all the stuff.
It's a food strainer.
It's a food strainer.
Or a food mill. Sorry, a food mill.
A food mill.
That's what it's called.
And that is meant to get rid of the skin and the seeds. If you boil these, which I think most people do, the skin and the seeds don't actually get up to enough of a temperature to break down, as far as I know. But anyway, if you boil them, you kind of have to strain them because they don't get hot enough. Now, great thing about putting them in an oven is it does get hot enough. And it breaks down the kind of the sharp acidicness of the tomatoes, specifically of the skin and the seeds. So my recipe that I invented a few days ago is to not take out the seeds and the skin. To take the whole thing and put it in the oven. The reason I invented this is because we don't have one of those de-seeders, but we will. I think Claire's mum has one that she's gonna lend to us.
Alright, I reckon that's maybe all of it.
Right folks, next up, I'm gonna just chuck in 1 or 2 red onions for a bit of flavor. How good does that look? We're gonna throw in just some normal olive oil. Actually, we're gonna throw in quite a lot of olive oil. This is not the basil infused olive oil because we are adding our own basil. Then we add a decent bit of sugar or of salt. That's probably enough. Then finally a nice bit of a good quality honey. We want a little bit of caramelization, especially the onions and the basil. Nice. Let's bang this in the oven for about an hour and a half. So that's gone into the oven. Let's take a look at our bread. Alrighty. Bread is looking perfecto. My hands are pretty clean from washing all the tomatoes, so you can see this just sticks to the fingers immediately. So I'm gonna wash my hands with a bit of olive oil. This doesn't stop everything from sticking to your fingers, but it does a pretty good job. See? Not really sticking. You don't necessarily want to knead this spelt because it's very sensitive apparently. You don't even want to raise your voice at it really. There, spelty, spelty. You just want to knock the bubbles out. Knock the bubbles out, get it back to its regular size. Boom, see? We're gonna put a lid on that, keep it for another hour, then pop it in the oven when the tomatoes come out. Get a towel, get your lid, set it aside. Boom! Right folks, so I reckon we're in for the final proof for the bread. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use 2 bread pans. Hopefully we'll do 2. And I'm just gonna line it with parchment. I've never actually done this. We always used to like oil or butter the sides of the pan, but apparently parchment acts as a bit of a diffuser. I don't know. Let's see if we can get 2 in there anyway. Here's our bread. It's almost at the top. Need a bit of oil in my hands. Just want to go again and just knock a little bit of the air out. If you don't like kneading bread, I reckon spelt's a good option. You don't have to knead it at all. Maybe I'll only make 1 loaf actually. Yeah. Cool. So I reckon we are only going to do 1. You can see, oh, I just popped it. But you can see this method, by not kneading it completely, there's still air bubbles inside there. So there's a big air bubble right up here in the corner. Nothing fancy, we're not going to cut it, nothing like that. We're just going to cover it again. I don't really want to get this dirty, so I'm going to use another one to cover it. Put my tea towel over it, and within 30 minutes to an hour, that should be good to go in the oven. Just noticed I have a dirty patch on my clean t-shirt. This is my good t-shirt. This isn't a working t-shirt. 20 minutes and it's filthy. I swear it's just for the camera. I do have clean clothes. I do have clean clothes. I know it's been said, but I have clean clothes. Okay, we're going to take out the tomatoes. Whoop, whoop. So this is exactly what we're looking for. A little bit of char in the onion. Look at that. So most of this now is water, so I'm going to get the water out. I'm going to put it in the pot. I'm going to blitz it. We at least get the soup on the way. I can do a bit of tidy up as well. I actually should have showed you. This is the so this is the tomato water with a bit of olive oil. If you could keep that, which I am going to keep, this will make this will help to make a gorgeous tomato bread tomorrow. Almost forgot that. Okay. So we pop these in. Spare a little bit of basil. Okay. Blend this bad boy up. Alright, so I've taken out a little bit so myself and Claire can taste a little bit. I think that's gorgeous.
It's hot. It's very wholesome.
I actually don't think it needs to be sweetened. Claire was just saying there
I would say add just a little bit of more. I don't know what I add, honey. I think I would add brown sugar. Just a little bit of brown sugar.
Would you think the cream would do it? Gonna try to add a little bit of cream to this and see what kind of flavor we get. I quite like it like this. I feel like it tastes like I just picked them off the greenhouse, which I did myself. I don't want to process it too much with sugars or salts but cream, Claire does want to try cream and tomato, so we might just give that a little go. Alright. We should mix it in.
Mix it around. It'll just kind of neutralise it a bit.
You see, this just looks like a yogurt.
That's how my ones look like though.
Really?
Without cream and brown sugar.
Well, maybe you should have made the soup then. This is how my dad does it. He didn't add cream and he didn't add sugar.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's definitely creamy.
That's better.
It was already perfect.
No, like
Hard to improve on perfection, Claire.
no, that's just kind of neutralised. It's just because we don't have a food mill, so we can't eliminate the seeds.
I don't want to eliminate them.
And so it's quite wholesome, which tastes amazing. But there was just a little tinge of bitter. But the little bit of cream really helps, I feel.
I don't know if I'd add the cream, would you? Or would you let people add their own cream to taste?
Good, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we leave this as is?
Good.
Pretty good, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Very nice with the cream, actually.
I'm not sure will we get to show you the bread or the cake because they're meant to be here in a little bit, but we'll see how we go. But this is really, really good. So guests are about 20 minutes off. I need to put the bread in. I put the heating element for the cake. Seemed to be going okay. Then Ash needed a shower. So he put on the shower and we tripped. So all power cut off to the house. We're back down to one oven. I'm trying to get it up to speed. Kids, they need a wash, apparently. As soon as this gets up to temperature, it's not that far off actually. Maybe I'll just feck it in. But look at that. You can see little bubbles there. I mean, it's amazing, this spelt. It's very wobbly like. It'll come out brilliant now, trust me. We want 40 minutes in total at the hottest setting that the oven will go to, which I think on this is about 250 degrees centigrade, which is brilliant. I think this could even make really good pizzas. Wouldn't that be nice? Set all the colors, bring it into one.
You have one.
So, folks, the bread is done, the soup is done. I'm not sure guests are going to be here, so I'm not sure I'm going to try it, but it has actually come out perfect. Look at that. Look at this. Spelt pan. How cool is that? Yeah. For the Americans, when we say a sliced pan, over here, pan is in bread cooked in one of these, and it's just you get a pre-sliced. But this is perfect. Look at the crust, just like a shop. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up there, and I might try it later with you. I won't do it in front of the guests, but there's the bread, there's the soup. If there's leftovers, might give you a taste test combined. Well, hello folks. It's been a very successful afternoon's entertaining, hasn't it, Claire?
Has, very nice.
You've seen the tomato soup. And here's all we left of the tomato soup. It went down very, very well. We have only a little bit of bread left here. I must show you. The bread was gorgeous. I just sliced it. Can you see the perfection of this bread? Look at that. Have you ever seen a pan yourself that you could just chop like that? Have you?
No, the bread is fabulous.
Let's get a little bit of a taste going here, shall we, Claire? Has to get a little bit of Kerrygold Irish butter on it.
Dairy Manor.
Is it? Dairy Manor. AKA is the Kerrygold. I mean, this is an Irish sliced pan.
What's amazing about it actually is
It's unreal.
how well it keeps and stuff as well.
The shape.
No, but I know that we've made it like in the past, and any bread we've made, it just seems to keep better and taste better than anything that you buy.
I just, like, what amazes me is like, it's just so perfectly formed, so spongy. Don't laugh, Claire. It's like there's no kneading. That's what I'm saying. Like this was liquid. Normally with bread or pizza dough, you have to keep working it and kneading it. But this spelt, you don't do anything to it, and you just get the amazing texture. There's almost like a healthy taste to it, isn't it? Like you can tell there's no like chemicals and preservatives and sugars and stuff added to it. Tastes like a bread you would have tasted years and years and years ago. Maybe some, like a loaf, a baker's, I suppose, loaf, isn't it?
It is lovely. Yeah,
Really good. Anyway, catch you later.